This is Ponder Darling, My Busted Heart, and the two mirrors behind me. Yeah, he put those there, which is kind of ironic. So the title of this video is The Man with a Child in His Eyes. And this one's painful because it's about cognitive dissonance. Now, cognitive dissonance is when you can see evidence that something is true, but you just can't believe it. So a lot of times people who are recovering from narcissists have a lot of cognitive dissonance because they can see, narcissists have very, very distinct patterns that they all follow. It's like they have a playbook. It really is. It's like they have this secret playbook that they all follow. And their behavior, their pattern of behavior is eerily similar. So you can see very clearly that that's what it is, that that's what's going on. And yet you have a totally different story inside your heart. You have a totally different story about that person. And my story, which I've shared before, is that we're soulmates. We are soulmates. We're twin flames. I am the one girl that he was in love with, that he pined for decades, that he finally got back, and we were going to get married. We were going to be together. And everything was going to be beautiful. We had worked out our whole future, our whole life. We knew what we were going to do, and we were completely in sync on that. There was no conflict on our plans and our life goals and our dreams, and we were just going to ride off into the sunset. And then all of a sudden he's packing up his stuff into his van, and then he's gone, and then he's not even really giving me any kind of indication why he flipped out like that and did what he did, and why he's not coming back. Like I've said, I have some, I have a good guess that there's another person involved. But, as I've said in previous videos, I'll never know. I'll never know. I've said that to him. I'll never know. I have no idea. So The Man with a Child in His Eyes is a song. It's by Kate Bush. And it was his ringtone on my phone. And it was his favorite song. He loved that song. And it was because, he prides himself on never growing up. And I've thought about it, and that song is so appropriate for him because it's, the story of the song. Kate Bush's songs are all stories. She's a great storyteller. So every song has a story, or there's a story in the lyrics of the song. And this one's about this man who is disembodied, who visits her at night when she goes to bed. And people say, this is not going to last forever. In fact, even at one point she says, maybe he doesn't love me. There's a lot of disbelief in this song about the reality of this guy. So it seems really appropriate that is his song. And, cognitive dissonance is so it's the worst. It's the worst. It's worse than the shock of discovering that you were in love with a narcissist. Because I'm here to tell you that if I just, did my research, found out, oh, he's a narcissist, now I can move the fuck on with my life because I know that he's a douchebag. That's it. No problem. Done. Right? It doesn't work that way. And that is because of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the story that you tell yourself that's ingrained in your mind about this person, and you don't want to give it up because it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. It's so much more beautiful than this person that you were in love with turning out to be a cold-blooded monster that can't love you. Because, my story of him is so beautiful. In my story, he is an amazing human being. And as an empath, love addict person, I don't, that's the story I want to believe. I want to believe that he is that person. I don't want to believe that he's a cold-blooded, a narcissist that doesn't give a flying fuck about anybody. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that about anybody. And I certainly don't want to believe it about somebody that I was planning to marry. Especially somebody that, I was telling my mentor today, I was like, where I don't even know where to go from here because we were friends for years. We were friends. I really thought that I was being careful. So now when it turns out that this person that I so carefully selected because I really believed that he was a good person ends up being cluster B. That this has been, of course, the fake story, the story that I made up about him being this incredible, amazing human being is the one that I want to believe. Because we all want to believe the good stuff, the happy stuff. And, we don't want to look at, the stuff that's scary. Somebody not, one of the things that, there's so many things that haunt me, but one of the things that really haunts me is that he never cried. And, he would tell me, oh yeah, I cry, but I never saw it. I never saw him cry. And when I would cry, he did not show any compassion at all. He would kind of, one time he sang a little happy little song, and another time he kind of got agitated. He would get agitated, or he would get up and walk away, like all inappropriate things to do when somebody's crying. Like when somebody's crying, you comfort them, right? All my empaths are going to say, of course, yes, that's what you do. As an empath, you comfort them, that you want to do that. It doesn't make you uncomfortable when somebody, even if it does make you uncomfortable, your inclination is to comfort them. And he didn't have that. He never had that. But when this morning I was just doubled up with clutching my stomach in a ball, sobbing because of the cognitive dissonance. And I don't, it is the one thing that lingers, and I wish that it would go away because, those crying days are less. I do have strings of days now where I know what he is. I know he's not coming back, and I know it's good for me. But the days, when I don't, I have written out a list of all the shitty things he's done. And when I have cognitive dissonance, I read that list and it's like I'm reading Chinese. That's how bad it is. That's how bad the cognitive dissonance is. And like I said in my last video, you know, at this point I'm just like, I guess I gotta just ride the wave. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I hope that it fades. I mean, I still keep working on it. I keep using the systems that, you know, they say tested and true. And certainly, you know, I can see progress, but it's the worst. It's the worst. Not being able to give up that beautiful story. That's, you know, that's where the grief is. That's what I got. Thanks.